Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, build Mama Liberia for good. Truth-telling is the bedrock of good journalism. Straight from the heart on Sky 107.1 is that platform you can rely on for credible, undiluted, and unbiased analysis. It is thought-provoking. It speaks nothing but the truth to whoever is involved. Our presenters remain impartial and are only interested in truth-telling. The program comes your way Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, and build Mama Liberia for good.
Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia. Liberia, wake up. Liberia, wake up. Liberia. Oh, Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, Liberia, try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's what we need in our love and control. Mama, wake up, my people. Can't you hear the sunny song? You've been sleeping so long. No time for guns, no time to do wrong. Say the war is gone. My people be strong. Liberia, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Liberia, try to settle it's what we need in our love and control. Mama, Wokama, wena moto mwaka, Wokama, muna moto mwaka, Ufanu, Unyamanu, Wokama, Salune, Labire, Abore, Guinea, Wokama.
Good morning and a pleasant welcome to another interesting edition of the program, Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. Today is 2021. My name is Matthias Labindi, welcoming you on this edition of the program. Well, this morning, I don't know whether I've ever made you angry before, since I've been presenting talk shows. For those of you who've been following me for some time, maybe today you're going to get angry. But you know what? You have 8 o'clock during our talk segment. That's the segment I consider as a talk segment because it's when we invite in guests to talk about issues of national concern. But this time around, on this edition of the program, we're not bringing in live studio guests. We're going to be talking about the president's new song. Have you listened to that? Have you listened to the president's new song? Oh, that's really nice. You need to listen to it. Well, it sounds to me like an amateur musician, someone who just woke up one morning and jumped into the studio to record music. It also sounds to me like someone they were not really serious about what they were doing, but they just thought to record because they had a recording studio. They have a recording studio in their house. You don't want to miss that particular one. So we're going to be dealing with the president's song, and at the same time at 8 o'clock, if you have your savings book with you, or you just have your daughter, your little kid, your toddlers, or maybe your tag, right? Your tags ABC book. I just want you to open to that particular part where you see the Pledge of Allegiance to Liberia. Hold on to it until 8 o'clock. I'm going to tell you what when we reach at 8 o'clock. We're going to be dealing with the president's song as well as the Pledge of Allegiance. What is in that allegiance that we need to look at quickly? But before 8 o'clock, I tell you, we have interesting developments for you this morning on the first segment of the program that you cannot afford to miss. My name is Matthias Labini. We'll be right back. Wake up. Mama Liberia, wake up.
Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia, wake up. Mama Liberia. Liberians, oh Liberians, oh Liberians, wake up. Liberians, oh Liberians, oh Liberians, wake up. Liberians, oh Liberians, wake up. In a pray. Oh, Liberians, wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, Liberians, try to settle things the way we used to be. The day is all we need in our loving control. Mama, Liberians. Wake up, my people. Can't you hear the song? Can't you see the shining sun? We've been sleeping so long.
I don't know, Mr. Tamba, you cannot hear see the shining song, even though we are in a rainy season and we see the cloudy weather, but you still have to wake up to the dawning of a new day, knowing that Liberia depends on us for everything, knowing that we owe this country a great deal of loyalty, knowing that we owe this great country a great deal of respect. The country depends on us for many things. So good morning, wake up. If you are up, let me say good morning to you. If you're still, trying to warm up, you're still warming up. Like I know one of my men, when Julius book is morning, he wants to wake up. You see that he will be scratching. How do you do that? Scratch, right? He's so big that he's not able himself anymore like before. so he struggles a lot to get up from bed. Don't be like that. Don't be like Julius. Julius is just a lazy guy. So good morning and welcome. Interesting developments. And Liberia's story is a story that is really sweet to tell. Liberia's story is a story that every time you wake up, it's a bittersweet story, right? Sometimes you're telling the story, you are even crying in your heart. Sometimes you're telling the story, you're smiling. Sometimes you are telling the story, you're disdainfully telling the story. You're having that kind of disdainful expression on your face about the fact that you're telling a story about a nation that you think that has lost its essence or values. I don't think so. I don't think Liberia has lost its values. There's some great values about us. Quickly, let me bring you a few things on the table that you can just play through quickly and open the lines here from you. You comment at 8 o'clock. Wait, for those of you who are maybe supporters of the government, of the CDC, particularly as a party, like I said, if I've now annoyed you before, maybe you're going to get annoyed with me. But I don't intend to make angry. Except you see it from that angle. I don't want from that angle, right? I don't expect you to see it from that angle either. I just want us to see it from a nationalistic angle. But let's begin with the few things we have. Big Brabby Liberia, what's happening in the house there? A lot of things are happening around. Big Brabby Liberia. When the social media was flooded with a lot of criticisms about this reality TV show that, many people, a Nigerian guy, by the way, who marries a Baza woman, according to him. He's been here for some time now. In fact, while he was in Nigeria, he even used to like being in a refugee camp than even being with his own people. He attended a university that was predominantly, attended by, aliens, refugees from other countries, including Liberians as well. So he just fell in love, according to him, with Liberia. He sat right here in the studio and told me the story. So coming to Liberia to, serve as executive director of such a prestigious program, a reality TV program, it's not something that he's taking pride back to Nigeria as a Nigerian. That's one disclaimer I want to provide quickly. But according to what he said, according to what we are also seeing, the way the program is going, is that, he just intends to give back to a country that he loves. So let's go into the house. What is in the house? Julius, can we look into the house right now? No, we can't look into the house right now because we don't want to display that particular footage for you that led to Gary the blogger. You remember the young guy who called on the show the other time when I was on the show and I was doing some analysis and thing, and really bad doing that, legend quotient, something that they conducted at the time. So many of them were asked, who is a male? What's the difference between male and man? What is the difference between female and a woman and all of that? So these questions were asked, tricky questions, and many of them flip-flop in responding to these questions. So Gary became the guy who made the news doing that particular IQ test. All right. So Gary didn't just stop there. Now he's in the house. According to the information, over the weekend, there was this July 26th celebration, right? They had this 26th, not weekend, by the way. They had a 26th party in the house. And like some of us who have small heads for alcohol, and most of the time Julius calls me Kekele, no problem. right? But I like to drink. If I'm drinking, I drink to the level that I think I can walk home, or if possible, walk right on the road. If I went somewhere to attend a program or a party, I want to drink and be able to get out there, find a taxi, get on and get back home. I should also be able to get home and not feel exhausted, jump in the bathroom, have a shower, and then get to bed. That's how I like to drink. I don't like to drink excessively in a way that just do things out of the way. Sometimes it happens, right? You sometimes realize that things really get out of the way because of the excitement, the environment, the ambience, that you get within an environment alone can even make you to do things out of the way. Probably that's what led to Gary, the blogger, who now is, he has spent his second day, if today is going to make it 3 days, at the Monrovia, at the Liberia National Police Headquarters, ongoing investigation for reportedly harassing a housemate in the house. How it happened? According to the information, Gary got tipsy. Many of them got tipsy. Should I say drunk? Tipsy is lighter? Yeah, it's less, right? Yeah. Julius said, yeah, Julius knows the thing. He say drunk. How you know the difference between tipsy and drunk? Anyway, Julius, I know. So so Gary got drunk, and like many others. And this girl sleeps not too far from him. Why would you even bring, no disrespect, right? Why would you bring daughters of Eve to tempt the sons of Adam? Why would you do such a thing? Huh? It's a house. I agree. It's a house. We all I'm following a lot of bloggers on social media, most especially the women. The way they're dealing with Gary. Man, you want to cry for Gary on social media. They're dealing with him seriously. But honestly, man, this is not my lady, bro. And I'm drunk. The thing is, I'm drunk. Did Gary tell the people that he was drunk? Maybe he didn't say that, right? But can you prosecute a man who was under the influence of a substance for doing something during that period? Can that person, I don't know whether that thing is something that we should look at. I respect the young lady, and out there I've interacted with, I know you know that I respect women, right? But you see, sometimes we have to call a spade a spade. This is a reality TV show we're talking about. How can we define the word reality again? Put it in context. What is reality? The thing that a man does in normal life. So for me personally, when I drink, I'm not referring to me now. Like maybe let me just say, maybe for Julius, for example, Julius Boki. When Julius drink, I'll make an example. When you this morning, you put your bread before me again, like you usually do. So, like for example, Julius drinks. When this guy drinks, he smiles. You see him, he laughs. He jokes everyone. Drink, they become rude. Some people, when they drink, they become sexually active. Trust me. If it costs for them if they can to their ATM card, they will certainly give it to you. Say, go and withdraw. Go and withdraw what you can withdraw from it. All I know, make sure to what they call me. All right. So can we say Gary falls in the category of men who usually drink and find it difficult to control their sexual appetite? Probably Gary felt that, well, I'm already drunk. I'm lying down here. Maybe this girl is my fiance at home. He forgot probably that he was in a place, a competition, camera all focused on him. All the time that Gary was not drunk. Yeah? Look at it. Let's put this thing in context. All the time that Gary did not drink, Gary had been in that house. Had Gary ever harassed any woman? Did he harass anybody? No, he didn't. The only thing people say he's faking, he acting fake, he acting like he's too humble. He's not that person. A lot of people as well should also be put out. Not that she's guilty, but she's the one making the allegation. In fact, not that she's making the allegation, right? But it's on the social media. People watched it that this guy was creeping. I want to ask somebody who did it. Anyway, this may be too graphic, right? But I know growing up, I don't know about you, but some of us, we lived in houses that have about 12 bedrooms, and sometimes they used to dump. I can say dump boys, girls in one room. All right, you sleep there. Growing up in the interior and thing, you wouldn't think about such a thing because the orientation is different. Now, moving forward, coming to review, I also experienced that seven young men sharing one room in West Point. I live there as well. 7 young men sharing one room. And sometimes you'll see that 2-3 guys will bring their girlfriends in. When the girlfriend's coming, some of the guys, they wouldn't be drunk. They're not drunk, right? So they wake up at night and want to make a term on their friends' girlfriends. This thing is natural. It's normal. You cannot put cassava leaves here and put a billy goat and say a billy goat should not eat the cassava leaf. Now, someone is saying, Matthias, you are completely stupid this morning to say that. What do you mean? Because you see a woman, it means you should have sex with her? All right. So because it is man and woman that have sex. So meaning when you are a man, when you see a woman she dressed, somehow, seductively, it means you should harass her sexually. But again, I ask you a question. This guy has been in the house. Big Brother Liberia had a party and people got drunk. Now you want to blame Gary for drinking and attempting to have sex? Probably the guy felt that he was home and he was lying down by his girlfriend. I think Big Brother needs to put some things in context. You cannot say it's a reality TV show and you gave me liquor in real life. This is not acting now. How many of you watched that McIntyre comedy where this guy was acting and he was giving Palm one to drink? And every time he caught he take a sip and he mixes his line. He gets back to take a sip. At the end of the day, he got drunk. The entire comedy is spoiled. That particular skit spoiled, even though that's how they intended to run it. You're running a reality TV show. You put people in the house. You make women are walking naked. Watch them on television? Yes, we watch them. Women are walking practically. The girls are there walking practically naked. There's a girl in the house. I don't know her name. She has a very big backside, right? I don't want to be graphic. Sorry to say, right? But every time you go online, this is the only girl people are. Guys always go online. Where's the girl with that girl? What is that girl, man? Where's that girl? Yeah, what the girl with the, washing my collar? What the girl with the washing my collar? So everyone wish her. Imagine people who are watching from outside are getting the women in the house. Then this guy is in the house. You say it's a reality TV show. Then in real life, you gave him liquor to drink. So in real life, when people drink, the way they act, that's how they will act. Some people, when they drink in real life, they will curse. Some people, when they drink in real life, they will fight. So Big Brother Liberia, you brought this young man to public disrepute. You gave him alcohol to drink, and he acted according to the way the alcohol instructed him to act. I hope you people look at this matter seriously and not tarnish the reputation of this young man, all in the name of protecting our women. We have to be careful about the way we talk about this sexual harassment thing, rape and thing in this country. We have to be very careful about it. Was Gary clear? Anyway, I said we have a lot of issues. So let me move. All right. So this is a friend who usually by the time I'm on and I hit a point, it comes in with a lot of serious inspirational messages. I thank you, buddy. Thank you. Let me move on to another development. Last night, while listening to, okay, before I get that right, I get to that point. The Ministry of Health, through Liberia's chief medical officer, Dr. Francis Kete, says that suspected COVID-19, people, those who were suspected of being positive of the COVID-19, about 400 plus of them were tested yesterday, and they all proved negative. And again, the new report we got is that he went further to say that the cases are gradually declining in the country. Sometimes when these reports come up, right, if people try to fall in political interpretations of the way government, presents or does the communication sometime, people tend to say you're politicizing the health sector. And I forgot to put that in the face of the health minister at the Ministry of Information on Saturday. When I asked her the question and she said we should not be politicizing the health sector. You politicize the health sector. A Liberian gave $7,500 to Montserrat County Health Team. You rejected it. Today you're going to be facing the legislature on next week, Tuesday, to explain why you said their money is controversial. Wasn't that political? You should have just heard the money. Just leave it. It's none of your business. Is there anything, that bans you from receiving tokens, gifts from Liberians, citizens who want to support the health sector? You say we should not politicize the health sector. Now, talking about it, right? The government, without much testing, all over the country. And in fact, people are not even on a scale of 10, all right, 0 to 10. You personally, can you tell me at what rate our people adhering to the preventive measures against the coronavirus in the country? On a scale of 0 to 10, I would tell you maybe around 5. So majority of the people are not wearing masks. The government calls for programs, people get clustered, breaching the health protocol. Then one morning we wake up to the news that COVID-19 is gradually declining. This thing you're doing, you gotta take it easy. I won't put it in colloquially or man. The thing you're doing, a COVID-19 you tell them go our normal business. Because it doesn't make sense. You didn't test me. You didn't do any testing in Doe community, in Claratan, in the cluster, in the slum communities and things. One morning, just woke up and say the cases are declining. How? Does they come and just leave just like that? So sometimes the government puts itself in a situation that it cannot handle. And I will again agree with the Minister of Information that the government is losing the propaganda battle to the opposition. I'm going to go further with that later. So yes, that's the information we have from the health authorities, that COVID-19 cases are gradually declining. Liberia. So I think there was no need for us to go looking for support and think. Did you explain to us how is that possible? How is that possible? Yeah, how is that possible? All the people that escaped, that you said they were tested, they were positive, they ran away. All the people who could not pick their phones, communities and test whether the COVID-19 that you left their bodies. Anyway, I'm tired. I don't want to be political. I don't want to be. All right. So yeah, let's move on to another development. This is where sometimes you guys get pissed off with me and Matthias. You put a lot of ingredients on the table and we don't even eat all. Yeah, that's how it is. You don't even eat all your food. Your meal in your bowl, you don't eat all. All right. So I have a motivational message from Dr. Clarence Moniba, and we're going to bring it shortly, but let me touch this particular development. I was listening to Spoon Talk last night. Usually some of us who broadcasters, we don't sleep early. We wake up early, we go to bed late, we wake up early. So if you see a broadcaster that's big like Julius, meaning he doesn't have much stress on his head, or maybe he's just a guy who's normally like that, right? I like the deal I got small. But listening to Spoon Talk, I just want to take one thing from there, right? Not the panelists, not the guest stability and thing. Another day. I'm going to leave that for another day. But businessman George Calando made a revelation last night on Spoon Talk. Well, can I play a few lines? I think I can do that. I would have loved to send it to my producers to play it, but I think I can play it from here, and then we can we just listen to it briefly. Then you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So Mr. Calando, by the way, he said when he phoned in on the program, Calando said the discussion was basically about Jetty, right? Jetty, there's a photo circulating all on social media, Jetty seen feeding Liberians, all right? Feeding Liberians. And so, and this thing annoyed a number of people. And the CEO of Spoon Talk, Spoon FM, Mr. Staton Witherspoon, that I want to continue to congratulate for modernizing the media, coming in at a time where modernity is in place, technology is in place, and is giving the opportunity to my fellow young people to get to know the values and importance of their own profession, journalism, that at least they can get back home and say, this is what I've earned for my job. Thank you so much, Mr. Witherspoon. I just hope that other institutions, other media executives can copy the same, because some of us who don't intend to leave this space and enter government, if that's why some of you think that you suppress the media, that all of the young people in the media will just leave and enter government so that we all can keep quiet and be doing all you, Mr. President you, all you, Madam President you. No, sorry. Some of us going to stay here. We must die of hunger. We will. And I don't think we would die of hunger. So yeah, Mr. Livingstone, not Livingstone, Witherspoon, thank you so much for that particular thing you're doing with the media. Well, I can lay my hands on this, but we're quickly now. While we were talking about now Julius is not showing enough money. We're talking about the Jetty thing, Jetty reaching out to people, giving them hot meal and all of that. But this line, this long line, I have the photo of that. This long line of Liberians queuing for this hot meal. I think it was around the Center Street area where he did that on 26th day. Many things the guy said, they're very good in their analysis and things. Sometimes, yes, there are issues, yes, but no problem. That's how life is, right? But the guys asked some questions, and I want to agree with some of the things they said. For example, our lawmakers receive $30,000 each, but an Indian man feeding Liberians in the street. Right now, some of you who are supporters of the government, you're not saying that the media is the one that painting the country image bad. Jetty, a businessman, not just an ordinary businessman. This is a man who has extra privileges under the George Weah administration. I'm going to name one privilege this man has that earns him millions of dollars, thousands, if not thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars annually or monthly. Because this government that says it is a pro-poor government, but in disguise, it's a pro-rich government. Jetty feeds the hungry Liberians in the street. For me, if I were doing a headline, bam, that's the newspaper headline. Jetty feeds hungry Liberians under a pro-poor government. So, as if that was not something worth listening to at that moment, Mr. Kalando called in and said, listen, you people don't know. As a businessman, I have a revelation to make to the country. Mr. Kalando said, I have nothing personal against, he said he has nothing personal against Jetty, but one thing, Jetty can even feed the entire country, his money will never get depleted. Because the government gave Jetty a privilege. Extra, you know what IPD is? It's something that you give someone leverage to do an exclusive business. To say, okay, I got the IPD to import sunglasses in Liberia. I'm the only businessman that is allowed to import sunglasses. So meaning I don't have to waste my time to send boys to go sell my sunglasses around. I can easily open my store. I open many stores across the country, anywhere in the country, because I am the only person allowed to bring sunglasses in this country. That's what I'm talking about. So Jetty, according to Mr. Kalando, something that we've not verified. We're quoting Mr. Kalando, a businessman also who understands what's happening in the business sector of this country. He said, the government of George Weah that assure you Liberians that you will not be, by the way, spectators in your own economy. They not just make you spectator. It's better sometimes you be spectator. You get to see the play of the match. But if you're not even allowed to watch the match, that's the problem. And this is the situation now of Liberians. Many of them are not even spectators. Many of us are not spectators. But you know what we are? We are just sharing squat who listening to the game via the radio. I remember those days when we were down there in Soul Clinic, my brothers and I, we used to sit down and listen to. There's a particular player we used to like hearing his name. You say, what, Fala Johnson, right? Yeah, Fala Johnson. That guy. By the time that guy's name is mentioned, because a kissy guy, oh yeah, whoa. So we were not even spectators of the match. We were just observers from a distance, listeners of the match. Right now, some of you are not spectators. You're just listening. Everything you hear, you get into, everything that reaching you now is through audio. So Jetty has the privilege to export scraps. That's it. To export scraps out of Liberia. He's the only businessman that has that privilege, according to Mr. George Kalando. Not my saying. I've not reached out to the Commerce Ministry. I heard it last night. I want to let it out there and hang it in the meantime until we can do further verification. But if that is anything to go by, is this a proper, can you consider it a proper government or a pro-rich government or a pro-evil government? In the midst of these difficulties, someone spends over $50,000 reportedly to bury their mother. Thanks to that guy. Honor to your mother. In the midst of these difficulties, the president still flies private jet in clear violation of the code of conduct, but no civil society advocate can stand up to judge you and say, listen, you are not leaving this country until you turn that plane back. Can we have another Mohamed Bouazizi here for a just reason? How many of you follow Mohamed Bouazizi's case in situation in Egypt? Can we have another Mohamed Bouazizi? That, Mr. President, you see, I'm standing right by this private jet, and I have on me gasoline and things. Any of you come close, I'm going to set myself ablaze. Even one man can lead our protest and prevent a man from leaving this country with that private jet, because it's a disrespect to us as a nation that gave him the job, and he's telling us that, listen, we don't know better. We don't even know how to take care of a president. So he's helping us, in fact, to go and acquire a private jet. As if that is not enough to give an Indian man exclusive right, reportedly, to export scraps out of the country. Isn't that an insult to some of us young people who are going to school? At least for us, for some of us, attended Mavisoni, Slipway, Matilda Newport, our school, every time I pass by any of my school buildings, I feel broken because no improvement so far after many years of our graduation. So for those of you who are factor here, good to you. But imagine that. A businessman, Indian man. There's nothing about nationality, right? But foreign businessman, just like that. Just like that. How many of you followed that? You see, these guys came long time ago. They started stealing, and we were talking about it. Somebody say, hey, this and that. Somebody boys on the radar just rude. I want to challenge you people. Any of you, if you think that maybe Matthias may be partial in that investigation, go to the Monrovia City Corporation, ask Mayor Jefferson Koji for the $3 million United States dollars fundraiser program that he launched in 2018 in the name of all coin to say that he's going to empower people, send them to school, pay school fees and all that education scholarship and thing. It is where the president in the full glare of Liberians, I shed tears that day. The president auctioned his Ballon d'Or. He auctioned that thing for $500,000. Who bought that? An Indian businessman. I think it's the same Jetty that bought it. Yes, I remember. Jetty bought that, gave cash. He gave a check, sorry. He wrote a check of $500,000 in the hands of Mayor Jefferson Koji, or somebody put our organizing the program. Check it, 2018. Go back there at the Monrovia City Corporation. Mayor Jefferson Koji came. He said, well, he was launching this program and thing. He wanted to empower people to send them to school. It was a $3 million, something. On the spot, the money we counted, some of us who were very quick to calculate, even though we did small mathematics there, we were not too good at it, but we calculated quickly. On the spot, Jefferson Koji was able to raise over $2 million that day. Not to talk of pledges made by other people. Business people came forth so they can be seen by the president. So they can be seen that, Mr. President, we are here. We want to support your government. Jetty got lucky. He got himself an exclusive right to export scrap. Oh, mama. Why did you bomb me in Liberia? Anyway, I love it. Just kidding. But let's hear you now. Think about it. Are we improper, pro-rich, pro-evil? Think about it. By 8 o'clock, I know you're going to get mad. But before that, let's quickly listen to Dr. Clarence Moneybai, former Minister of State with our portfolio under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. Young man, Clarence Moneybai, Dr. Clarence Moneybai has a message for Liberia. Let's listen to him.
Liberians are strong and exceptional people, and we continue to stand proud as the first African republic to proclaim independence. We have gone from the dark days of killing our brothers and sisters in the streets to rebuilding our nation with democratically elected governments. Our combined achievements are endless, but we are most proud of our strength, because no matter how many times we fall, we rise. So as we rise together once more, we must leave behind the evils of corruption, tribalism, and the lack of love for country. We must piece together the broken dreams of our fathers who walked the grounds of Mount Nimba and the Wolokisi, Sapo National Park, and the shores of Lake Pisa. We must realize the unfulfilled dreams of our mothers who worked, cried, and prayed for a better Liberia. We must respect and value the land which unites us in our diversity, knowing that our patriotic duty for all of our 16 tribes and 15 counties is to build a better tomorrow for the next generation. As men and women of this country, we must all come together to move Liberia forward, taking the responsibility to lead in our classrooms, churches, malls, and communities. Small, we will establish a new reality that proves that togetherness is possible and that we will be better and we will be stronger. Under God, this Liberian dream will be realized. For we must be a nation united with liberty and justice for all.
With liberty and justice for all. Now we're going to arrive. That's Dr. Clarence Moniba. You listen to that? We are strong people. Our resilience alone can chase a lot of difficulties in our country. We are strong people. Our resilience can make us to withstand any difficulty that befalls us as a nation. We are strong people. That's the reason why in the face of coronavirus, we are still thriving. We're strong. That's the reason why in the midst of rampant corruption, not many people are coming down with pressure in their homes when they hear the news of someone stealing arrogantly, willfully, heartlessly, and shamelessly, taking what belongs to thousands of people and one person is putting that in his account. We still remain strong. So let's continue to be strong. Let's have a conversation. Call us now on the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. We are here Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock. This is the first segment of the program. At 8 o'clock, I'm going to be premiering President George Weah's new release. He recorded this song for Rita Marley, the late Bob Marley's wife. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Big Brother Tamba.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity this morning. But Matthias, before I go to the talking point quickly, yesterday I was quite disappointed when you have the two gentlemen in studio in the last talking point afternoon show. They got out in the disguise, You know, I really wanted to pose some questions to him yesterday, but I tried my best. I could not get to.
I'm so sorry about that, buddy. Sorry.
No, Natalia, the health minister is not doing well for the Nigerian people. The health minister, I said it last night on Joy FM. The health minister wrapping herself around a DL3. The Liberian people are watching this health minister. You can't do this to the Liberian people. After the Liberian people cried that the Minister of State mother funeral was overcarried, the next day she came up to tell us that the coronavirus, the rate is dropping on a daily basis. How come? No, they have the minister to be truthful to the Liberian people. Rejecting politician money and accepting people for money in politics, I think this is wrong. This is why I told her last night, Madam Mina Jala, you are wrapping yourself around DL3, and what the tree is the Liberian people. Liberian people lose credit in you, you will not find your way out. And President to the people, I believe that the people defender will come after you this morning to defend the issue that people living luxurious life, and more especially the information that you brought all this morning about Jefferson Kwechi, the city mayor. The general money, I heard about the money 2018. I think, you get our mind this money on this general money, and we got to flex on media online. On a serious note, that money, we didn't know what our money, that youth empowerment money, we didn't know what our money went today. I think Jefferson question will come up to answer some questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tamba. Let's hear you two callers in the numbers 0777 0777 Stay with us till 8 o'clock. Trust me, you're going to enjoy that segment as well. But the issues we've highlighted, join us now. Let's have a conversation. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. All right, call us on those numbers 0777 221 are the numbers you can call us on to participate. We have a litany of issues here this morning, but we highlight a few of them so that you can participate on them. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Good morning to the people of Monserrado County. Good morning to the people of Grand Pastor County.
Look, I don't have patience for all of that, sir. You have to just go straight to the point.
I'm Peter Macaulay, the property from district number 9, Monserrado County.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Let me say this. You see, Matthias, every humans on earth, if you work, you earn your living, you will make yourself look good.
Yeah.
But I would just agree with you that some Liberia or let's just say government official, they are, enriching themselves and this, that. No. I Peter Macaulay even here. I have money, I will make myself look good. And not because I work in government. Even with working government.
What is your point? What is your point? Did you listen to our analysis this morning? Did you listen to the show? Okay.
I listened to the show.
Right, go ahead now, make your point, sir.
Okay. So I just want to say every human on earth in the living to make yourself good. But so that's all with me not jala. I tell President George, we are thanking so much to give the woman the mantle to serve a minister of Ministry of Health. You see, the madam will come up with sensitive information to the Liberian people, but some other people who are different motive of the woman or the government, they will try to castigate the woman. The woman told all their indeed all the health protocol we should follow it. You went at the funeral service of Nathaniel Falo Matthew. You saw the social distances. You saw every health protocol was mentioned, and not because you saw 25 to 50 people, they say they break health protocol. No, everything went the way that it was like great saw.
But my man, listen now, Macaulay, you just say now because you saw about 25 to 50 people in the broke health protocol. The fact that even mentioned the number above 20, it means the health protocol was already breached. Thank you so much for your participation on the program this morning, Mr. Macaulay. You see, I see the reason why sometimes teamers get annoyed with these people and just cut them off, But I wouldn't do that. I'm a young man. I'm going to deal with them, just the way we always understand each other. So let's have a conversation. Call us on the numbers 0777 107 0777 221 223. So I asked a question about one of your masters that Jefferson Koji, in person of Jefferson Koji. Now listen, it was just basically I was just going back, taking a mental flight. We have a call on the line there. Let's talk to this other person. I was just taking a mental flight talking about when these people came, their motive was very clear. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning. You're live. Go ahead. All right. So the motive has been very clear from the initial stage of this government. The only time you listen to pleasant words, I think, was at the SKD during the inauguration. Spectators and all of those things, and everything. That was the time we had a very good conversation with each other. But after that, everything different. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning. All right, that person left the line, but let's move on to this other person on the other side of the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Christopher James. I'm calling from Broadville.
Mr. James, go ahead.
Yeah, most of the guys that call it truth with defenders, they are hungry guys. I got to know that most of them, they even live better life. They're suffering, but they call the media and call it truth with defenders. They don't know why they're saying. But we'll get rid of them. 2023 coming.
Okay, thank you. So I was, just going back, taking a mental flight, reminding myself some of the things that we've been following about this government from the inception of this government. Mr. Jefferson Koji and the president, they called it fundraiser to educate less privileged people, those who cannot afford and all of that. And that fundraiser was about $3 million. Their target was to get $3 million. I don't know, because before you mention an amount, you should be able to already do a case study on knowing if you say you need 3 million, how many persons is the 3 million going to benefit? So I'm very sure MCC folks did that. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
Yes, sir. This is Mr. Wilson. I'm calling you from Central Monrovia.
Mr. Wersing from Central Monrovia?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead. Make your point.
Thank you for enlightenment, Mr.
Labindi.
Labindi.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Thank you.
Labindi.
Yeah.
Labindi, where we have reached, I don't know if it is or it's a curse of the demonic manipulation. People see the wrong and don't. I don't know what is it that they cannot identify people doing. But I can say, when you have a nation that lost a sense of direction, this is what happened. Everybody say a procedure for evil people. People are celebrating greed. People are celebrating dishonesty. People are celebrating every act that dishonors God in the team of leadership. Jefferson Coach and the likes of Jefferson Coach that were just rising, they are opportune to lead the people. And over 90 kings and queens, they don't even care that. I want you to ask me anytime about they are appropriate. Let them tell you, our president, we are father. Let them tell you when they grew up. Let them tell you what they knew about president prior to he becomes president. That's what you call, because you are integrity. And if you defend somebody's integrity, you know the history. So who's that? But these people want to just proper defender without any reference or political riches. You know what you're going through right now? Because this leadership was elected on the metrics, empty talks. And this will return on the rhetoric and empty talks until God intervenes. Like where Liberians are now, they cannot change anything. They cannot do anything. Immorality, highest peak. Because God says He destroys Sodom and Gomorrah for a particular sin, homosexuality, lesbianism. And people who indulge in this thing, they do this thing to get power. They don't respect God, they don't respect government, except. So Liberia is under a curse and is beyond the picture of business. And God alone, and His appointed come. You guys will try the more you try to be still, the more you try to be the more you try to you become their enemies.
I tell you.
Because they are very serious crimes.
I tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wilson. And I encourage you to stay on the dial till 8 o'clock. I know if you're not angry, you're going to get angry more at that time. I'm not really looking for people to get angry. Maybe you may say, but Matthias, what's your intention of the show this morning, to make people angry or not, or what? But everything around us, we already have enough things around us to make us angry as a people, as a nation. We honestly, did we just celebrate 174 years? Ghana just dedicated her mosque, national mosque. Government spent $10 million to build mosques, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, regardless of your education. Listen, this is a national mosque of Ghana. If you are a Christian, you want to be a Muslim, go back there. Go be a Muslim. Let's hear from this other person on the line. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Lemeta Kezulu calling from District 17.
Well, Lemeta Kezulu from District 17.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, Matthias, these people, they call themselves pro defender. They will see the white, then they turn it to black. Why will you say only 20% to be to a funeral service. Then we saw more than 50 human beings to the funeral service. Then you see now they put the protocol because it was standing far and far.
And weeks later, the health ministry is saying the COVID-19 cases are declining.
Yeah, only because the other law they break the protocol. Then she coming back to say that they have the COVID-19 is declining. They refuse other people's money and they took people's money. But we are watching it. We are not proper defender. We the women who watching it. You know what the song that our carers sang when a woman fell off, nothing you can do about it. So let it continue. Let it be defending what is black. And they're taking it to be red or white. But they will see it. We the women, we gather ourselves, we organize ourselves. Because when they put them there, they take out the beat or tissue. Yeah, they take like grown people to be tissue. Doing anything that pleases them. Yeah? You say we will not be spectator for our own country. One man will be exporting. Yeah, they will say that.
Yeah, une jati alone should export iron or scraps.
For he alone. Then you take small one spoonful and put it in plastic to create the people to make work with all of people's children. Yeah.
All right.
So we're not doing it because they are running campaign for the election, the senatorial election. So that it can go their way. Why you can continue at this time?
Thank you so much, madam.
I'm so annoyed, man.
I know. No, take it easy. Don't get angry. I just said to you, stay on the dial. I don't know what is your brother or husband back there, but stay on the dial. Don't worry. 8 o'clock, you're going to listen to music. I'll entertain you a little bit. President Weah is going to sing for us. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning. Call us on the numbers 07777 221 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. When you speak objectively, you are in opposition. Mr. Worsinger, which I knew you in person. You know, wise men like you are people I like to sit with sometimes to have a conversation, regardless of your political line. Trust me. No relationship I've shared with people that have led to the person influencing me to share their political ideology. I want to live in this country and die and not hold any card for any political party. I want to die as a journalist by the grace of God. Let's hear from this other person on the line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Big Brother Mata Labengi, and good morning to the many listeners of this platform.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is the voice of Abubakar Siddiq Dukla. I connect you from Ray Free District 17 this morning.
Let's hear you.
Let me commend you for the show and the topic choosing to discuss this morning. You know, Mata, it is shameful and disgraceful to have celebrated 174 years, and at the same time, we have a foreigner who is feeding our people at our age. Mata, you put it in the rightful way. You know, these countries, if we not stand as a young people and you, those of you who in the press, this country is about to fall down in the dream. Because it seems that we have no leadership. We completely have a leadership deficit, and people will call on the radio, quote unquote, pro defenders to have to defend the wrong thing. How this country will grow. But Matthias, thank God some of you are in the media, whether wrong or bad, you continue to have to talk about those things in the media. Look at the example he's setting from Ghana. A Ghanaian build a national mosque regardless of which religion you are part of, but they spend the national budget to have to build a mosque. So, meaning everybody that is the beginning of reconciliations, but here we are joking. Thank you so much, Mata.
Thanks for the contribution on the program. Muslims cannot get a holiday in Liberia till now. Well, while I do not agree with Sheikh Imam Krai on some of the points, but I strongly believe that the legislature should look into the Muslim holiday discussion and consider maybe giving them a holiday. It's not like you're treating a stepchild differently and treating the other, your biological children differently. If we agree that they are Liberians, then they should also have opportunities like us, all of us. That day should be celebrated, along with everyone in the country. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Mattia. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. Let's hear you.
This is Pat Robert Nwaku. I call you from District 17.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for the topic this morning. But let me come up with something you're talking on about the Muslim holiday. Nobody will go against the Muslim for their holiday. But the only problem is They don't have a set day. Let us say, you see, when Christmas come on just one day in 1 month. And so, if you say you're giving holiday, you know, Abraham Day cannot come on a particular day. It changes. The same thing with the Ramadan. So that will make it very difficult. It's not that people against it. But let's go back to our government. Matthias, this is the very first time I see. I don't know, people use their education to ride on somebody's popularity. I know you want to ask me why I have to use this word. There are people that are educated very, very well, but they could not ascend to the position they are now. And there are somebody among them who could not even move from here over there, but because they have done something, in the eyes of the public, and they get so popular, and so the public were thinking, say, this is the right thing to do to put such a person to the place. And so those guys were saying, yes, we got the time because we are educated, but we are not important to the people, but we'll find a place to ride and we're going to ride there. You think people like Akara Stray today can tell me, say, well, we talked yesterday, but today we are progressing? Nothing. Instead, we are just suffering. Nathaniel Magay, where are they coming from? Samuel Tue, he worked in the past government. Why is it that we are still the way we are? Is this the way we're supposed to be? And let me tell you what this government has done that I will never forget. Look at the Liberal Marketing Association, my brother. This government has scattered this entity to the extent that conflict is in the LMA. Right now, it is the government that heading the LMA. It is the government itself that heading the LMA. They jump into the wrong campaign thinking that marketers want to follow them. Everyone that say, oh, my mother was a marketer and blah, blah, and all kind of things. Thinking that they want to take the LMA to be with the money that come in the LMA. The users, you cannot tell me. Matthias, try your very best. Go and find out whether LMA is really on a good footing right now. Find it up. The people now cry on the person don't care to even answer them. They're going to know where they're going to quote. The court say you are lead the people. You are lead the people. The justice minister, the internal affairs minister, in fact, are the worst person ever in the Republic of Liberia. This man has caused LMA a serious damage, including the justice minister. Right now, it is one Rosoni Belity from the internal affairs minister, who is the chairman. They set an interim team. They said we could not go for election. Why? I just got a letter from the health minister saying that COVID is blah blah, and so they should go for their convention in Banga. The time set the 1 month as elapsed, and they cannot go. What's happened? Then they're having funeral with part of people there, only for the minister to come back and say COVID is dropping. Matter, you guys are in the media. We know you guys are doing your best. We'll continue to pray for you people. But this government has caused serious damage to us here.
Okay.
Seriously.
Thank you.
I'm disappointed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I have a little amusement for all of you who are disappointed this morning. So you just hold on a little bit. I'm going to serve you some amusement moving forward. That as after we listen to the Voice of America 5 minutes of news, we'll come back. We're going to bring you that. My name is Matthias Labindi.
This is PLA News, reporting by remote. I'm Michael Brown. U.S. President Joe Biden urging Americans to get vaccinated, even as federal workers in Washington and other cities Wednesday began wearing masks again at work amid rising cases of COVID-19 from the Delta variant. Biden said he will address the coronavirus-related matters later today when he might announce a requirement for federal workers to get a vaccination or get regular tests for the virus. New cases in the U.S. largely fueled among the unvaccinated by the highly contagious Delta variant have risen fourfold over the last month. Meantime, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, announcing Wednesday that all state employees, a workforce totaling tens of thousands of people, must be vaccinated by Labor Day, September 6th. New York becomes the second state after California to impose such a rule for its government workers. Japan on Wednesday reported more than 9,500 new coronavirus infections, an all-time high, raising new questions about whether the ongoing Tokyo Olympics are worsening the country's pandemic situation. Tokyo is already under a state of emergency that some local commentators have criticized as ineffective. Many of the rules are voluntary. For example, restaurants have been asked to close early and not sell alcohol. Not all have complied. Overall, Japan's pandemic approach has been relatively successful and has reportedly only 15,000 coronavirus deaths, much fewer than other countries its size. Japan is one of several Asian countries to initially contain the virus, but lag other developed countries in vaccinations. At least 37% of Japan's population has received one coronavirus vaccination, according to government figures. For more news, voanews.com. Via remote, this is VOA News. In a major breakthrough for one of the world's last countries to embrace COVID-19 vaccines, Tanzania's president kicked off its vaccination campaign Wednesday by publicly receiving a dose and urging others to do the same. Salimia Hassan, who received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, expressed confidence in the safety of vaccines and said the country of more than 58 million people will pursue more. The East African country's government, under former President John Magufuli, had long worried health officials by denying the pandemic. Magufuli, who insisted the coronavirus could be defeated with prayer, died in March. The presidency then went to his deputy, Hassan, who has changed Tanzania's course on COVID-19. A lawyer for the first person convicted under Hong Kong's national security law asked the court earlier today for more than 10 years in prison, no more, that is, in prison, instead of the possible life sentence. The case is being closely watched as China's ruling Communist Party tries to crush a pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. Tong Ying Kit was convicted Tuesday of inciting secession and terrorism for driving his motorcycle into a group of police officers last July at a pro-democracy rally while carrying a flag bearing the banned slogan, "Liberate Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Times." Hong Kong's High Court announced that Tong will be sentenced on Friday. The Afghan government in Kabul will be fighting for its life and could well fall to the Taliban after the United States completes its military withdrawal from the country next month, according to a U.S. government watchdog charged with monitoring events on the ground. Despite a series of cautiously optimistic assessments by high-ranking U.S. military officials, Afghan leaders, a new report from the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan's reconstruction describes the situation as bleak and echoes concerns that Afghan security forces are not ready to mount any meaningful resistance. Ever since President Joe Biden announced in April that American combat troops would leave Afghanistan, U.S. officials have been careful not to minimize the challenge facing the Afghan government. Afghan's president has also promised better results as well, saying the Afghan military will be able to regain momentum by focusing its efforts on defending urban areas. Via remote, I'm Michael Brown, VOA News.
Mama Liberia, wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, wake up. Liberia, wake up. Imagine I pray. Only like we wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Only like we try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our love and control. Mama, people, can't you hear the song? Can't you see the shining sun? You've been sleeping so long. No time for guns, no time to do wrong. Stay the war is gone. My people be strong. Like we wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Like we try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our love and control. Mama,
And that's why you're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is the 29th day of July 2021. And we are here again today. We're here from 7 to 9 o'clock, by the way. This is the time now, 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. After that news from the Voice of America, we are back with more interesting developments. We just want to quickly recap. We informed you earlier by a young man called Gary, who is in... He was part of the reality TV show Big Brother Liberia, but because of some, uncontrollable sexual desire, he's currently undergoing investigation. But the information I've just received is that Gary has been released, and social media is again flooded with comments about why is he released at this time when a lot of people are concerned about the young lady in question. I'm a lover of women. Women as in that, grew up knowing that, knowing my sisters, my aunts, and just around them, and so I grew up just liking women, right? But I also know about their dishonesties. That's the reason why I like them. I know that some of the time when they notice that they're getting wrong, and they make you wrong, right? They make you to appear wrong. Seriously. So I know that a lot. I've learned that so much so that it'll be hard when you hear Matthias argue with a lady. It means that she really pushed me, and I don't really do that. The point I'm making is that the advocacy, the way some of you women do it, sometimes you don't even look at it objectively. You just, by the time you hear a lady name is involved into something, you get on the other gender and you just attack and attack. How about we put this thing like this, differently? Mobile Molu sat in this place here and told us that President Georgia is stealing from us. All right? That President Georgia is stealing from us. He goes out of the country, brings money in this place. That's why he was quick to complete his condominiums to on Nice Street and several other properties in the country. Revive his businesses, his failed businesses out of the country. This man went to the legislature. What did the lawmakers say? Buffer Chimba said, the speaker, the guy is a drunkard. He's a drunkard. He's a drunkard. The guy just said, just drunken talk. Yeah, drunkard. Am I saying that a man should get drunk and not fall in the gutter or drainage? Did I say something right? A man should get drunk and not miss his steps to fall in a gutter or drainage, but make an attempt on sexually harassing a woman. That's why I say again, let's go back to the show. Reality TV show. Am I defending Gary? I'm not defending Gary. But there are many people in that South Beach. Okay? If we investigate, there are many people in South Beach innocently. They did not rape. But because of the way we have this we spin the news of rape, sexual harassment. By the time that thing comes up, a woman's name is mentioned, the guy lost his respect. He lost his right automatically in the society. Should we be that way? How about we ask these hard questions? Let's make sure that everyone gets on the table and sit down and discuss. It's a shameful thing to discuss when a lady said, this guy sexually harassed me, and then you allow her, you ask her to explain again. It's a shameful thing. But how about we try the Sierra Leone scenario that if you say someone raped you, you have to describe how the person did it. That's not the point I'm making now. The point I'm making is this program that is being run is a reality TV program. Reality means, Matthias, real life. I like telling people the truth. That's the reason why I've fallen in trouble with many people, many big brothers. All right? Because I know a lot of big brothers in this town. Once they give you $1 today, they give you $10 tomorrow, they expect you to take your brain and put it in their pocket. So they determine the way you think, the way you act, the way you move. So that's why many of them are falling apart from them, because I'm not that person. I'm not brought up that way. Grandfather once upon a time used to say, well, listen, if you wrong this young man, if you wrong your little brother, he used to call some of my uncles and say, apologize to him. Tell him sorry. What makes you think that you can tell your little brother sorry? That's the kind of, discipline we grew up under. So I know I love to hear my sorry. My piece of respect gave it to me. I may not be rich, but I need that respect. So this is truth telling. Reality TV show. It means when Matthias gets in the house, Matthias will be telling people the truth. Matthias will live just as the way he lives normally. There are restrictions, granted. But can you restrict a drunkard? Is it possible? Did we control Mobile Molu's mouth when he opened it, said a number of things that the president harasses women here sexually? Some of you bloggers on social media did not even step forward to say a word. What kind of country are we running? This young man, Gary, you cannot destroy Gary, because for me, I don't think that Gary should even be prosecuted. First of all, let's look at the timing. Gary, according to the information, they had a party in the house, many of them drunk, and you want to prosecute a man who was under the influence of alcohol in a reality TV show house? He was under the influence of alcohol and attempted doing what he does in real life when he drinks. You call him a rapist? Oh my God. Anyway, maybe he's not guilty yet. I'm just saying. But we have to be very careful how we go about handling this thing. Already what we have brought out in the public here has already embarrassed the young man, but let's handle it properly. So we also talked about, the government said COVID-19 cases are declining. And so, good news for us. We also mentioned that the businessman, George Calando, revealed that the Indian consulate, Mr. Yutip Singh, I want to call him Jetty because that name is kind of difficult for me right now. All right, Jetty is the only businessman, the only foreign businessman who has exclusive right to export scrap. You know what scrap is? Remember, somewhere around 2004, 2005, you saw your sons, even some of our girls, strong girls, were all out there in the street hustling for iron, taking iron, packing there and thing. These are scrap. And that thing, you may overlook it, but it has serious money. Serious money. Approximately, Jetty may even earn up to maybe $5, $6, $7 million a year. A year? Isn't that too long, Matthias? Maybe six months. But he has exclusive right to export scrap from Liberia, in a nation where the president said Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy. Not my words, President George Weah's words. I'm not the one that's saying that Mr. Jetty has exclusive right to export scrap. It is businessman George Calando. He's on record. He's a businessman, so he's an insider. So we talked about that. But we also promised you that we were going to give you something on doing this segment. But before that, I asked you to do me a little favor earlier on. And that favor I ask you to do for me is to go back to your constitution, not your constitution. Maybe, the constitution, you're still going to find it there. But I want you to go back to some of your elementary education, elementary things, right? Some of the things you recited. Let's read the pledge. Let's read the pledge. How many of you know that? Can you say that? I know some of you right now, we are asked to even say it. You not say, oh, you finna forget about it. So first of all, it is written in a way that everybody will make a self-declaration. That's the reason why when we start to recite the pledge, we say, I who? I, Matthias Faya Labindi. And I go on now to read. I, Matthias Faya Labindi, pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are a lot of words here for us to discuss, right? But I don't want us to spend more time dealing with many words. Let's take one word from there. You know the word I'm taking from there? I am taking allegiance. Can we define allegiance? Let's define allegiance. Let's go to Google. We're using the internet now to define allegiance. This morning is a practical show. So let's have a conversation. There's a reason why I want us to go through this exercise. All right. So allegiance. What is allegiance? Allegiance is loyalty, right? Loyalty, commitment. Loyalty or commitment of a subordinate to a superior or of an individual to a group. Let's go further. As required by law, allegiance health plans cover testing of COVID. No, not that one. So anyway, you got that already, right? So the first definition suffices in this case. When you say, I pledge allegiance, the English people, the people who wrote this thing, they did not just stop to allegiance. They brought another word. If you were to go for loyalty, the word loyalty, and define it, let's define loyalty, because after using allegiance in writing the pledge, as we recited it in high school and all the time. Even sometimes you sit down, you take the book and go through it. Remind yourself, how did you read the Pledge of Allegiance? Because all of the people we have in office today, all of the people that are working in government, even the ones in opposition, They all, whether they went to school in Liberia here, they started school from ABC here, I know they read their history. I know they must have come across this particular pledge of allegiance to Liberia. So if all these people, all of us collectively, we have read the Pledge of Allegiance, can we just take that one word, allegiance, and play with it this morning and ask ourselves, have we been loyal? So because it is in allegiance, you're going to find loyalty. So loyalty, what is loyalty? The quality or state of an instance of being loyal. The quality or state of an instance of being loyal. What are the synonyms? Adherence, allegiance, attachment, commitment, constancy. Can we take constancy? So in your loyalty, you'll always be constant. That I commit, I pledge, I commit myself. I just decide to live for Liberia. This is my country. This is where I belong. I pledge allegiance to the republic, to the flag. The flag is a symbol that represents the country. That when people are looking through countries and you see Liberia, you know that, okay, you may not remember the word Liberia, but you may remember the flag color. So the flag is a symbol. That's why it says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia. Now, what makes it even stronger is that it went further to say, and to the republic for which the flag stands. So that allegiance to that flag, the real force, the energy of your allegiance is solely on the republic or toward the republic. Had the republic not existed, the flag would not have existed. I'm not a student of history, right? But these are simple, elementary things that we can just play around every time some of you want to sit down. Because I know the mindset, even some of us young people that are sitting down on the radio today, if you take us from here now, you put us in government, the next thing is that, but why should I waste my time here? John Brown, Joe Blow came and stole and this and that, nothing happened. I got to hustle and go and take care of my kids. We are treating our children, we are sending them to school with monies that we stole, with dishonest monies, and we expect this country to develop. We're stealing from the country and we're pretending to be smart people, but we're taking the very stolen funds and we are educating our children. You, some of you criminals in the government, all of you who have served in government yesterday, today, and forever, that you always be there, right? You were stealing. Come to think of it. Are you a smart man? Are you a smart father or a smart mother? How can you steal something? Willfully, when you know that there is something there for you, you have your own pay. You steal. That is disloyalty to the country, a breach of the recitation you recited long time ago in high school. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands. One nation, indivisible. I don't want to play with the other words, right? Indivisible. We are even divided on religious line. Look at us, Muslim and Christians. We cannot easily coexist because anytime the news of the discussion of Muslim holiday comes about, boom, somebody gets annoyed. The one clergyman will wake up. Do not give the people holiday. What for? Are you the custodian of this country? Are you the one with the land deed of Liberia in your hands? Because you're walking in the corridors of power. When the Muslims say they want holiday, you clergyman, Christian clergy, you wake up and attack the people. What is your understanding of that word indivisible in the pledge, Mr. Clergyman? Let's go back to the pledge again. Let's go back to allegiance. Mr. President, you took oath to serve this country, to lead. I don't have to like you before I tell you. One of my former bosses used to tell me, and I love him. I still love him so much. So listen, I want to mention his name. I love him. He's my mentor. He's my big brother, right? Chris Wallow. Love you that. I still love you that, right? All right. So he used to say, listen, Matthias, you don't have to speak to me before we work together. You don't have to like me before we work together. As long as you love your job, we can work together. And I learned that a lot. I don't have to like my boss. I'm not here to work. I'm not here because I like my boss, but I like my job. Mr. President, you're not running the country because you like McGill, you like Tue, you like Koji, you like that one. But what is your allegiance? To whom do you pledge your allegiance? Is it to the people around you or to the country? Go back to that thing today. Some of you ministers who said in you right now, some of you even thinking about signing some kind of fake checks to steal from this country. Read the pledge of allegiance before you do that. Please. maybe if you read, right, and maybe allegiance is not specific, right? It's not simplistic. Why not take it down? Put that in your dictionary. Define allegiance. You're going to get loyalty. When you get loyalty, you go to the synonyms, you're going to say this loyalty should always be constant. The constancy of your loyalty, right, is what equates to allegiance. So I pledge, all of us, way down there. Children, I know some of you listening to me right now, going to school with your dads and you asking your dad, if your dad is driving you to school and he sends you to some kind of school, sometime ask him, Dad, have you ever stolen from this country before? Yeah, children, do that. Ask your parents. Dad, trust me, tell me the truth. Have you ever stolen from Liberia before? Your dad will say yes or no. If he says no, say no problem. Why did you ask him? I only ask because this pledge of allegiance here, in that every Liberian living in and out of Liberia, in that's all of us. By the time we enter school and we start to recite, I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are many words in there I can play with. Indivisible is a word that we can also design a topic around. Justice is another word we can design a topic around. But right now, I know you two, you are reading the Pledge of Allegiance. What is your take? Have you been loyal to Liberia? What is your loyalty? To whom do you pledge your allegiance? To whom do you think, if all of our leaders in this country, if they have pledged their allegiance sincerely, honestly, willfully, effortlessly, have they done that? Do you think Liberia would have been like this after 104 years? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome live on stage, DJ George Weah, Ballon d'Or winner, President of the Republic of Liberia. This one is a special dedication to Rita Marley, the wife of the late Bob Marley of Jamaica. Welcoming live, Begugbe Fokeklon, President of the Republic of Liberia. Hit it.
Rastafari. So reggaeton that. Pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. I wish you a happy and a glorious birthday. The one blow, ja, Rastafari. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. It's a birthday. Hello, 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 hello. Ja, Rastafari. We gonna party, we gonna jump. Hello, 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 hello. Nana Rita. Hello, 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 hello. Queen Nana Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Hello, one heart. Let's get together right and feel alright. On your birthday, we say one love, one heart. Let's get together and celebrate you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. Oh, I miss you, Mama Rita. I wish you happy birthday, long life and prosperity. Ja, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. God bless you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Mama Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. May Jah keep you. Oh Lord, may Jah guide you. Oh Lord, Mama Rita, Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita, chop, Rastafari. Happy birthday to the Queen, Mama Rita, chop, Rastafari. That's the guy. Well, what? It's your birthday, enjoy it. Me say it's your birthday, enjoy it. Enjoy it, enjoy it, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. Hope you're okay on this birthday. One love, it's Georgie Boy. Thinking about you, as always. Ja, Rastafari. Ja, Rastafari. So, pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. Wish you a happy and a glorious birthday. The one love, ja, Rastafari. One love, one love, one love, Mama Rita. One love, one love, one love, Mama Rita. It's a birthday. One love, one love, one love, one love. Ja, Rastafari. We gonna party, we gonna jump. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita, one love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita, ja, Rastafari. Yeah, man. So rock it tonight. One love, one heart. Let's get together right and feel alright. On your birthday, he said, one love, one heart. Let's get together right. Oh, I miss you, Mama Rita. I wish you happy birthday, long life and prosperity. Ja, Rastafari. So reggae to that. God bless you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Mama Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. May Jah keep you. Oh Lord, may Jah guide you. Oh Lord, Mama Rita, Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. Chop, Rastafari. Happy birthday to the Queen, Mama Rita. Chop, Rastafari. Last night. It's your birthday, enjoy it. He says your birthday, enjoy it. Enjoy it, enjoy it, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. Hope you're okay on this birthday. One love, it's Georgie Boy. Thinking about you, as always. Ja, Rastafari. Rastafari.
Boy. Georgie Boy. God, we suffered. We don't suffer. Hey, God. Yeah. What are we into? Seriously. So Jetty is there. If you're watching a video, if you were there watching us live, like Helena Besa was doing, lot of broadcasters are now requesting for the song. Mama Rita. That's a greeting. It's a Georgie Boy. Honestly, so Jetty, what Jetty was basically feeding the hungry here in Liberia. By the way, Rita Marley's birthday was on the 25th of July. All right. So Rita, you know the history. I don't want to talk about Rita Marley this morning. I want to talk about Georgia. So he sang this song purposely for Rita Marley. The reason why you've not heard it here a lot on many stations. It's just based on my, little research, as we usually do, right? So I think he recorded this song. He recorded in his studio, right? And sent it directly to Jamaica, to Rita Marley. And the bloggers there, in Jamaica, they started posting on a lot of blogs and all of that and things. So I came across, there's a particular blogger, I've been following for some time now. I came across his stuff. I just copied it. All right. So now the other guys are requesting for it. So while Jetty I was just saying something, while Jetty was basically feeding our hungry brothers and sisters in the street, the president was concentrating on recording a song for Rita Marley. Georgia Boy, he was thinking about her and all of that, $200,000 plus getting missing from, somebody's reportedly stealing that money from Buchanan Port. We can't hear anything about that right now, but Georgia is recording a song for Rita Marley. All right. The thing about it, the irony of President Weah actually is that this man has a church. I don't know whether he's an evangelist. I don't want to be held in contempt. Is he an evangelist or just a believer or a preacher of the gospel? All right. Or he's just a man who is betraying. He's not a Christian. He's not a Muslim. He's just somewhere there. All right. But now that he has a church, I know many people will expect that the president will spend more time concentrating on singing to God. With this sweet voice he has, the melody, the rhythm flows when he sings, and you listen to the rhymes and everything is flowing, everything is connecting the dots and everything, right? So he should spend more time writing gospel songs by the grace of God now to ensure that he invokes the Spirit of God to descend upon us as his children, so that we can be able to be liberated. Mama Sita, Mama Rita, and all of that. Georgie Boy. So if you just check social media now, when it gets flooded and people start to call him Georgie Boy, some of you who are defenders going to get annoyed. The man says Georgie Boy. When Jega Koluba says the man is my nigger, the man says this is nigger duh, nigger cat, and all of that. These are some stuff musicians call each other some funny names, right? So they say, oh, the man is acting rude on the president. But when you could not even get food to eat on 26th day, and the president took several bags of rice to identify with opposition political parties, women, good. Coalition of opposition political parties, women, right? But you were there hungry at home. Well, one party refused it, reason best known to themselves, they said the president should take it back. While at the same time, while you were there hungry and someone was preparing hot meal to bring it to you, the president was concentrating on writing. I doubted whether this song was written. Because if I were an engineer in that studio, I'd say, sir, given the fact that this truth-telling thing that some of us practice from way down there, I'll say, sir, all due respect, this song, can we rewrite it back? Can you sit down a little bit, relax, and redo it? Because it sounds amateur. It's disgraceful. I wonder how Jamaicans are reacting to this particular song. Rita Marley, who is a very renowned songwriter, you did a song like this for Rita Marley, and you sent it to Jamaica, and Jamaicans are probably mocking at our president. That anyway, we should not mock at him too much now because he's our son-in-law now. You know how the old people do it. How people do it. Once you have some kind of dealings with them, even if you did something wrong, they will tease you a little bit, but in the end, they'll wrap their hands around you because you're part of them. So he's their son-in-law, so they're not going to laugh at him that much. If it was just somebody, one musician doing something to come to the limelight, trust me, they would have been chastised seriously. And the reaction right now we get on social media is not really favorable. In the midst of everything, like I said, I intended this morning to relax your mind and entertain you a little bit. Well, a couple of people are coming back and requesting that we should play this song again. Can we do it one more time? Yeah, let's do it one more time. Okay, let's do it one more time and open the lines to hear from you. Today is Thursday. On tomorrow, Friday, I'm going to be a guest on 50/50. When I say guest now, on the entertainment, all right, the Friday edition of the program with Julius. Julius and I are going to be having some interaction. I know some of you are going to be testing the social side of me in terms of relationship, and all of that, the change of things from yesterday to now and all of that, what is happening now with our young people relationship. You're going to be testing that tomorrow. So yes, I'm going to be stepping in and Julius is going to be asking the questions. But let's hear, Georgie Boy one more time, then we'll open the lines to hear from you.
Rastafari. So reggaeton that. Pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. I wish you it happened and a glorious birthday. The one blow, ja, Rastafari. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. It's a birthday. Hello, 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 hello. Ja, Rastafari. We gonna party, we gonna jump. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita, one love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita, Ja, Rastafari. Yeah, man. So rock it tonight. One love, one heart. Let's get together right and feel alright. On your birthday, we say one love, one heart. Let's get together and celebrate you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. Oh, I miss you, Mama Rita. I wish you happy birthday, long life and prosperity. Ja, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. God bless you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Mama Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. May Jah keep you. Oh Lord, may Jah guide you. Oh Lord, Mama Rita, Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Happy birthday to the Queen, Mama Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Rastafari. It's your birthday. Enjoy it. Ja, Rastafari. So reggaeton that. Pleasant greetings to you, Mama Rita. I wish you it happened and a glorious birthday. The one blow, ja, Rastafari. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. Hello, 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 Mama Rita. It's a birthday. Hello, 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 hello. Ja, Rastafari. We gonna party, we gonna jump. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Nana Rita. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love. Queen Nana Rita. Ja, Rastafari. Yeah, man. So rock it tonight. One love, one heart. Let's get together right and feel alright. On your birthday, we say one love, one heart. Let's get together and celebrate you, Mama Rita, Queen Nana.
And that's right. That's right, Mama Rita, Queen Nana. Yeah, please drop it a little bit. Don't mind these guys. It's not me. The producers, I think they love the song, you know. They love the song so much they don't want to give me a chance to even say something. But I don't want to say any other thing, right? Let's have a conversation. Let me leave it right at that point. Let's have a conversation. Call us now on the numbers 0777 777 107 221 223 0777 777 107 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. Let's begin with this first person. Good morning.
Good morning, Mattia.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Mattia, I want to be thankful to God this morning. I don't know how you managed to lay hand on the Adenaka music.
I got my Jamaican friends.
Look, the music is disgracing. The person, I don't know whether he wrote that music or he just sat down in the studio to play that Adenaka music. It looks disgracing, my brother. Why this president will be behaving in a funny manner to the Liberian people? Okay? Look, Mattia, you know what currently going on? Let me let you know on what's going on currently back home to your country. As we speak, the superintendent of Lofa County now entering the office. The people protesting now in Wanyama.
Why?
That's the latest information.
Why?
The people protesting that they need a senator. If their senator cannot come to them, take over their country, the superintendent will not enter his office.
Wow, that's it.
I think those guys that have access to a smartphone. They are online right now as we speak. But to your issue, Mattia, I think most of your colleagues need a recalling.
Yeah,
I don't know how you lay here.
Well, no, listen, Big Brother Tama, don't put me in trouble, right? I need to first of all speak with the man who has the song. I need to hear from the president whether I can share his song. Even this song, I don't have copyright to it. So please don't put me in a situation I can't handle. Let's move on to another person.
I don't wonder why the president went and say you put water into the drainage.
Because you don't understand the English in this book. Water in drainage, I only have you to understand that. I beg you, man. Today is not Friday. Why am I feeling like it's Friday already? Anyway. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Call us in the numbers 0777 777 107 0777 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. I know when it gets to a certain point, the defenders don't say any word again. They got nothing to say. They get quiet. Sometimes you see, I know, and that's why I always advocate for our brothers who are doing propaganda for government. Even though at some point they themselves, they behave very lazy. Because, for example, the president dedicated the Chipin freeway, right? Propagandists of the government, they're spending more time on helping the opposition to debate on water in drainage and all of that instead of presenting. Look, I want to sell. If I'm selling a commodity, if you like, say, this meat that you're selling is not sweet, I'm going to give you the most sweetest words that you can listen to ensure that you taste the meat. That's all you need to do, but you're spending time on, water and drainage and things to an extent that it has become a subject of discussion. If I'm doing propaganda for the government, I wake up in the morning, even if you hate me, you will love me because I know exactly what to say. But anyway, while you were struggling to do that, guys, I also advocate that you guys get a lot of support. Even if possible, some of your children should be taken from here and be flown out of the country, and then your children should get better education because of the sacrifice you're making for this government. Because it is difficult to defend a government like this. Look at this thing that we just played, this music that we just played. Realistically, man, some of our little brothers, no wonder why the music union is not even getting support, because the president himself loves music. And I'm only asking myself, how can this man have a church until now? There's no gospel music from him. Please do us one gospel song, yeah, Mr. President. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Yeah, thank you for your recognition. David E. Harris, I call for my resident.
Go ahead.
Matthias, thank you very much for this song. My question is, who the president want to be?
In what?
I say, who this president really want to be?
Well, I think McGill can answer that question because
that's my question. Because I can recall most often we see him on the court playing basketball. Sometimes we see him on the main road playing tennis ball, playing freestyle ball with kids. And then we see him in the church. I don't know whether he's your pastor or your evangelist, I don't know. And then we see him singing reggae songs. So my question is, what did president really want to do? Because we elected this president to serve us.
Okay.
Is this president really thinking where he really want to take this country, where the country is coming from, and how the country is now?
And Mr. Harris, thank you so much for your contribution. And this is where sometimes I get disappointed in Liberians. When we listen to people speak, they say something to us, but yet we come back and ask the same question. So you see, sometimes it happens even in our case as journalists. You go to press conferences, you listen to the person get you explaining something, your colleague come and ask that question. The person explains, you come back. If you don't have a question to ask, you just keep quiet. You come back to ask the question and you ask the same question. Sometimes it brings serious, the reaction from the person may not be good. The president said to you people that when the competent is not available, the available becomes competent. You expect anything more than, what the man can offer now? No, man, Mr. Harris, man. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Diabo calling from Clay Street.
Let's hear you, sir, from Clay Street.
Yeah, you see the problem. I got even problem with yourself. Yourself get problem with you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Because the problem, you don't even respect authority in this country. Even you yourself, you just wake up, you just talk a lot of things about the government.
What do you talk now?
The government means.
What?
And you know the government is the government is our own government.
Yeah, but say one thing and I say Bana. What the party and say now?
Because the party is trying to follow our president. I got no right to talk to the journalists. Oh, you have to respect the government. Oh, yes, yeah. You can't be talking to the government. You're talking to your common friend. Oh, so we are not your equal. The man you are scared of our God. Oh, can you? You just because you talk a lot of nonsense about the president. That's why made me angry. I just call you to respect myself because you don't respect the government. Because since 1847, we've been living in the country. We can't see no constructive attitude. At least we are king. You try to make a difference. You can see it for yourself. So why are you provoking the government? You say it's general. But you just create a family in the country. You just look at each other. All kind of see about the president. Yeah, it's our president. You gotta get him respect. Get up and let respect. You say I'm going to call you to accept our feeling. What the way you talk to our president, they're not being cool. They're real.
Okay.
Okay. You should respect yourself.
Thank you.
You should respect yourself. Because the president is our president.
Thank you.
You don't get another president. Our God gave it to us. So don't be so scatterland. Our president repetition. Don't be cool. Now I call you to tell you. So don't respect yourself. So being an officer and know the president was given by God. They make it higher in the country.
Okay. Thank you so much, Father. I know you are an elderly person from the sound of your voice. Thank you so much. Yeah. But to say, thanks for your contribution. You can also call us to the numbers 07777-107, 077-221-223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. Thanks for, that's the beauty of democracy. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that he said I should not talk to his government. I don't know which part, am I from, yeah. So he says that, Matthias, you sit there, you just talk about the government. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
I'm Abraham K. Dupley, and I call from Busher Island.
Mr. Dupley, please go ahead.
Thank you. Let me just talk to the fellow who just dropped the line. He was so aggressive. We are discussing national issue. Rastafari is a religion. It's a Christian religion. It's a religious sect. The same as the Jehovah's Witness is a religious sect. And he tried to express himself religiously. But anyway, it's painful to know that we are in this kind of crisis and the person will be sinking. I think that's where I have the problem. But the young man, tried to exercise himself and try to simplify the issue of the presidency. There used to be some kind of half fence around the presidency. But now we're seeing that the presidency is a very, simple something. And you can work with the people. Those who are playing tennis, somebody said they never play tennis along the rules. Yeah, that's good. If those are other play checker, he needs to come down and play with us. The highest thing is that those things that need to be done should be done. Thank you very much for the program.
Thanks for the contribution on the program this morning. And the earlier we Liberians wake up to the reality that the president is an individual who occupies an office that we created as a nation, and the Constitution says the power is inherent in the people, the better we will produce good leaders. But we see them as masters over us. They are leaders because we made them. They're not leaders because they made themselves. They cannot. Cummins wants to be president. He cannot be now until people elect him. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Lamendi, and good morning to the many listeners of this platform.
Let's hear you.
This is the voice of Abubakar Smith. I connect you from District 17, Raleigh.
Go ahead.
Let me comment you. You know, we did one assignment this morning. You asked us to do allegiance. And as we were doing it, I was also doing it.
Okay.
I checked on Marion website, and I was told that allegiance, one of the first definitions they brought is obligations.
Yeah.
So I take that as a key. Obligations, and the synonyms to it, there are a lot of synonym words to it. So one of it is faith.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from your assignment you gave this morning, in which I'm going to use it as a tool. Matthias, for me, I'm not surprised the way the president is governing this country, right? Yes, I was just listening to your 5-minute news where the president of Tanzania, the current president, he has taken the lead of the COVID-19 from what predecessors, which he did forward. Now, Liberia will now go forward until we have a leader that has the mindset for this country. We said in the past, the people said that Georgia loves this country, the world loves this country. That is the law which is proven at this time.
Okay, thank you, Abubakar, and thanks for being an obedient student that you did your assignment. You are the only person who came back and submitted your assignment. I give the assignment to everyone out there listening that I want us to read the Pledge of Allegiance. But while we are reading the Pledge of Allegiance, let's take one word from there, define it, and put it in context and make ourselves to feel guilty. Certainly, you're going to feel guilty when you look at that word allegiance in the pledge that we have, that we recite every time and salute the flag of our country. Let's hear from this other person on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Prince Car.
Go ahead, Prince.
I call from Chicotown, and good morning for your presentation.
Fine, thank you.
The fellow you call Elderman. I don't think he's Elderman. He's just a hard guy this morning. You know, he didn't really know what he even living for to say.
But please just go ahead and make your point. Leave that man alone.
The issue here is that Montana, let's look at the reality here. Why do you think if you get a serial managing job, a piece of important job to do, what do you expect? My question is, why you think if you give a serious manager a piece of important job to do, what do you expect of that job?
I'm telling you.
You expect a better outcome, right?
I'll tell you.
Exactly. So we are where we are, okay? Liberian people, they are just a kind of different set of people. Because sometimes we see the fact, but we say we want to defend it because what? We defend it from whoever that comes up with that kind of crap. You know, we are not patriotic. That's the problem. We are not patriotic. You know, we are so divided as saying that everybody's defending somewhere or trying to protect something.
I'm telling you.
That's the problem we have in this country. We not there. Stand tall to everything when John wrong. So, man, you wrong. I don't care. You must stop, man. You must whoever, man. You damn wrong.
Yeah.
You see things will be fixed. Thank you.
And a lot of people will take a paradigm shift and try to change from. I agree with you, brother. Thank you for your contribution on the program this morning. And the the beauty of this platform is that we encourage dissenting opinions. So if you calling and the only thing, just be polite. I know at some point the man whom you said he's not an elder, he slipped a little bit, but yes, I let it roll because for the sake of peace. I don't want to create any pandemonium on my platform in the morning, with listeners. But that's the beauty of democracy. Let's squeeze in this other person here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Presenter.
Good morning, sir. My name is Matthias Labindi.
Okay, thank you very much for the platform this morning.
Go ahead.
There are two issues I want to discuss.
Go ahead, sir.
The first issue is this coronavirus issue. I went to the airport yesterday for my internship. She was coming home. She did her coronavirus test, everything, and the result was negative, everything in Ghana.
You gotta reduce the volume of your monitor to avoid the echo coming in.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay, then when she came back to Liberia, she was demanded to do another test for $50 US. It's not how the person is worrying. That is one. Then two, to our president. The guys that just called, I was saying that you said something about the president. Is this wrong for us to see your leaders doing things that's not right for you to talk about it? It is wrong. We made the guys as a leader for us. They're leading us. It is our responsibility if things are going on which we are not satisfied for us to discuss it. How could a president just be singing song where the situation in the country there should not be to handle any other things? Things are just going, things are rapidly. You see? So that's my concern this morning.
Thanks for the contribution, my brother. And I think the president heard this song from Liberians, and unfortunately, you know, the war is a global village because of the. Hello. All right. So maybe he heard the song from the public and sent it directly to Jamaica. You know that Madam Rita Marley, this is my birthday gift to you. I don't want to play here. When I play in my country, the people deal with me. So just play there. And a blogger that I'm connected to put it on. Then I saw it and I got it this morning, brought it to my technical team. We've downloaded it, by the way. So we enjoying it. I saw T-Max dancing to it. He wouldn't say anything bad about it because he's a crewman, you know. And I want to be frank. T-Max sometimes behave like a tribalist. And honestly, I'm wrapping up. I want to leave some words out here because this old man, he's here. He's standing right there. He's watching me. He's a crewman, so he doesn't want to say anything about George Weah's music. I'm told he's a runaway soldier, so George Weah as a musician, he just have to find a way to get around. But folks, we gotta go. Yeah, this morning I gave you people an assignment, a very simple assignment. Can you drop it a little bit, please? You know, I asked us to read the Pledge of Allegiance to the Republic of Liberia. When we say that, we say, I pledge. All of us, we make self-declaration. Not we. Everyone, by the time you pick up that particular one paragraph to read, if you were in high school, every individual, there's a reason why I'm very sure the writers of that particular paragraph decided to include the pronoun I, because they want all of us, every citizen, to declare their own allegiance from their own hearts. They should sincerely speak it out and say, I, Matthias Labindi, pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands. So if you, by the time you say that I, every word that follows, that word applies to you. So if we all have recited the Pledge of Allegiance, how were we reciting it in high school? How did we recite it? How are we reciting it? How are we telling our children? Are we defining the words in the Pledge of Allegiance? My name is Matthias Labindi. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday.
Welcome to the forum from the BBC World Service with me, Bridget Kendall, coming up after the news. Today, our subject is a remarkable waterway that slices a continent in two. The Panama Canal was one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken. It was built by cutting through the narrowest point of Panama in Central America to join up the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean.